try. This is I was cruising. There were 2 different 1K historic events over the weekend, and this deck had a 3-3 record, but I like the core idea of what's going on here. It's playing a lot of just good historic cards, and it's got just, you know, technically a 1-card combo here to just close the game out. Something that's neat about this build is you need 2 creativity targets for this deck to work, but both Hard Evidence and Strike It Rich are single cards that give us 2 targets for Indomitable Creativity. So the basic idea, and Unexpected Windfall does as well. So the basic idea is you Indomitable Creativity 2 things and flip Sage of the Fall plus Locust God into play, which makes a bunch of 1/1s with flying and haste and kills your opponent on the spot. Past that, we've got just a bunch of good interactive bits to keep the board in check. So let's go ahead and pop on into some games with this and see how it goes. Looter Scooter is legal and historic. It is not. If Smuggler's Copter was legal and historic, it would be played everywhere. Like actual everywhere. Yes, and Kaladesh Remaster was notably missing both Smuggler's Copter and Walking Ballista. You basically just have to mulligan any opening hand that has these in it, right? Okay, so you know what actually makes me chuckle? I had to go back and look at the message history of that person that I banned for having diarrhea of the mouth. Their message history included gems like defending the readability of Magic the Gathering online. And a shitty political opinion. So it's funny how things like that tend to congregate around an individual. You have one kind of shitty opinion in one way, and you're very likely to have lots of other shitty opinions as well. Because sometimes when I go right to the ban button like that, I like to take a second and make sure that okay, did this person actually deserve this? And in that case, it was a resounding yes, definitely. We clicked the appropriate button. Yeah, the fact that this combo deck doesn't get stopped by Graveyard Hater Grafdigger's Cage is a big deal. Let's actually crack this to start, I think. It's an instant, right? So their hand is just atrocious right now, right? They're giving this lifelink. Their hand just full of 4-drops? It must be, right? Tough game. Close. Yeah, gosh, and this is another reason I picked this deck out of the deck list that I was skimming the events. It's got a real sideboard plan, chat. It's like, all right, we've got Fatal Pushes and Fries and another sweeper here. We know what we're looking to do. We've got a good anti-control package here. Like, although maybe this isn't good anymore. This might be worse than just like playing Chandra. Like, is creativitying into this worthwhile still? Might not be. I guess the idea is this is you want another creature that you can cast to creativity into play. Commit Narset angle seems not great here. Leave a couple in to impulse for our thing. Yeah, they're probably Scurry Oak, though it's missing a color, right? We have Strike It Rich here in hand, so we'll be able to sacrifice this to draw a card this turn, which is nice. My crabby boy here, ready to block this Thalia. Let's go. Gabo the Green, thanks for the 13 months. Welcome back. Yeah, Soul Warden is a card we have to take out of play before we can combo. Hey, look, chat. It's another grizzly bear. So, I'm gonna wait till their end of turn to fry. Well, not anymore. If they didn't spend mana, I was gonna wait till end of turn to fry because I didn't want them to be able to play Collected Company on this turn cycle. And Library Exile? Question mark? I think that's right. Let's Fatal Push this, then Strike It Rich. Yeah, we could die here, right? They get Soul Sister plus and honestly, it might have been right on my part to like put the crab into exile and keep the Fatal Push there. Just because of the potential to get comboed. It's Inquisition here because what we see could impact what we want to do with our Omen. Okay. Sweating bullets. Yeah, sister plus Scurry could kill us there. I think we keep both of these, right? And now we do this and we pass. And they'll collect a company and we can fire Prophecy something depending on what their company finds. Zombie Slim Jim, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Opponent punted here by not playing Moondancer out pre-combat. I get to go ahead and kill this and stop this from being a creature now. I just can't help myself, Quibos. It doesn't matter how many times I've been hurt, I just want to hurt myself again. And again, and again, and again. And Library Exile, and I think I'm supposed to Unexpected Windfall here to dig for like a Fatal Push or a removal spell. There's a good chance we're just dead to this Collected Company next turn, unfortunately. Is this lethal? No? I'm very confused, but thanks, I guess. So again, my opponent is now dead. I get to make a 1/1 flying haste token for every card in my deck. I like how they conceded in game 1 when they were deterministically dead, but now that it's game 2, they're just like making us click through it. So the follow Pocho. Their last card is Collected Company, chat. It's literally face up. All the cards are on the table. They're literally just like salting off, hoping I misclick. Yeah, they didn't even wait to see it. They just conceded when we put our thing into play last game. To be fair, our combo isn't infinite. It's just large. It's sufficiently finitely large. Down here, salt is a way of life. I mean, if they have Soul Warden, you just kill the Soul Warden before you combo. I mean, I wouldn't say that I enjoy having to click through this. Maybe they don't realize these have haste? Okay, good shit. Efficient use of everybody's time involved. Just mulligan any 7 that's got the Lotus God in the opener. Almost mulligan the Fire Prophecy. Glad I didn't. Glad we weren't greedy. I'm not quite sure why there's a Yorion in this deck, but I can only conclude the person that built it got tired of drawing their one-ofs too often, so they just like, fuck it, we're playing 80 cards, so we draw the one-ofs less frequently. I'm assuming that's how the Yorion came about. What the fuck, chat? Alright, we figured out why the Yorion's there. We're killing them with a 4/5. Was not the anger of the gods I wanted for Christmas. Anybody else feeling a little crabby this morning? Hey, what's going on, CGB? Good morning. I think we're dead, fam. Go ahead and pack it up, pack it in here. That's fine. We have a game plan. We have some fatal pushes, an extra anger of the gods. We're gonna board these Thoughtseizes out. And this copy of Commit, I think. Run it back now, y'all. I think leaving Inquisition in is fine against the aggressive deck. Get to be a little bit disruptive and get some information if we get it early. I noticed they have Evercleave, and you didn't board in Thought Distortion seems odd. I really appreciate Huevos going above and beyond, acknowledging that we enabled sub-only mode this morning, and giving us the non-sub experience with their commentary. It's fine. There's an Anger of the Gods on top of our deck, chat. I can feel it. And this is the part where we get turn 3 Ember Cleaved, right? Oh my god, I let them get 2 attacks. You've made a terrible mistake, Chip. Okay, so... Oh no! Whew! Nailed it. Never didn't have it. A true skill game. A battle of wits, if you would. Easy game. I'm told Magic the Gathering is a big brain game for very smart players. I'm happy to be here, Name. Thanks for being here too. They could have, like, an Abrade here. And this is the nice part about this deck. When we draw our combo pieces, we're not just dead, right? We can just cast them. Corroded War incoming. Don't you wish that on me, DMS. Don't you put that mojo into the air. Okie doke. The gods were very angry, and then we won with Locust God, chat. Fitting. Fitting. I think we just mulligan any 7 that doesn't have anger in it. This is potentially very loose, but I'm in for it. Peter Carter in chat with the 6-month sub and the first time message from a viewer. Welcome to chat and thanks for keeping me around. Our next open will be Alchemy on February 19th and signups are open now. Oh, I'm also excited to share Raphael Levy will be our third commentator joining us. Excited to have him. I think we're bottoming. We're bottoming Expressive Iteration here. That's close. If I just greedy and give you a land. Like, let the greed consume you, chat. Well, you see, greed, for a lack of a better term, is, well, good. And library exile. We're here to strike it rich, not strike it middle class. Ooh. Four shots at Anger of the Gods? Oh, no. God, we're so bad. Think keeping hard evidence is better than a random. It's close, though. We can't combo anymore anyways. If they have land cleave, we're probably dead. Alright, for those of you taking notes at home, the game where we drew Anger of the Gods was easy, and the game that we didn't was much harder. Somebody write that down. We might actually want more than 4 sweepers, huh? There could be something to playing more than 4 sweepers. Yeah, in general, I'm a fan of Sweltering Suns. And get rid of the cheeky commit. Where do bad rainbows go? Prism. It's only a light sentence, though. What's going on, Jay? And this hand is one of the downsides of playing a deck like this, is that I think we have to mulligan this otherwise reasonable hand because it just has one of our combo cards in the opener. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Alright, so opponent's playing the food deck. Show me your secrets. This matchup's probably pretty good for us, huh? Just like none of their cards really matter. Yeah, this card combos with Yawgmoth for people wondering why this is in their deck. Oh, that's cute. It lets you upgrade these to 1/1s. Yeah, Yawgmoth's a card that's in Historic. Historic is like the format of, oh wait, that card's legal. What's going on, GMs? Thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Yeah, Knight of the Reliquary has been legal for a long time.
Those who cannot perceive beyond the veil of reality.
Just to injure the boomers out there for how long it's been since that card was playable. Knight's been legal for a long time and it's fucking atrocious. Not remotely playable. Hopefully Retreat combo will be competitive in this format when we eventually get that card. I'm hoping at least.
My mind needs a rest.
Knight was always bad. Fetch lands are good. I think that take is lazy and silly. The power level of cards is always contextual in the format in which they're being played. So you're right that Knight was better in formats with fetch lands, but that's true of everything. I'll take the land tier, right? What's retreat combo? Retreat to Coral Helm. It lets you landfall, untap a creature, so retreat plus active Knight lets you, like, Knight through all the lands in your deck and have a massive Knight to attack with at the end.
Still have much to learn.
We're just gonna die to this Hive of the Eye Tyrant in 4 attacks, champ. It's kind of feeling that way. Wasteland is such a miserable Magic the Gathering card. You want a lukewarm Magic take, chat? Legacy isn't actually much lower variance than other formats of Magic because all of the variance that a card like Brainstorm removes from Legacy, a high variance card like Wasteland injects right back into it. Wasteland. Wasteland's a card that takes the resource variance inherent to Magic the Gathering and like cranks it up to a 12. Alright, our opponent has died, chat. This is the way we make the 1/1s, make the 1/1s, make the 1/1s. This is the way we make the 1/1s early in the morning. Do 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 do. Alright, so this is definitely a fatal push matchup. I think this is a leave the 4 main deck sweepers in, but probably don't bring in sweepers 5 and 6. And trim the Thoughtseizes for the fatal pushes. Click submit, I think. I don't really think that's true, Seorzi. While it's correct that occasionally people will put a basic or two in their deck because things like Blood Moon, Back to Basics, and Wasteland exist, by and large, people just accept the fact that it's generally good deck building to ignore those things or hope to just like have them not happen. And then you just accept the non-games that come along with them. I don't really think those cards actually do a particularly good job of keeping anyone honest so much as they just increase the variance of the format. Like, you know, as someone who played through like the Teamer Delver era of Legacy, or should I say Canadian Thresh, as someone who played through the Canadian Thresh era of Legacy, nobody good ever put a basic island in their Canadian Thresh deck because of any of those cards. They just accepted that some of the time they were going to lose the game. Unbanned Twin, 7 7s, and I got my master's program today. Congrats on getting in. Thanks for the over 4 years. To set the incredibly low bar, Back to Basics is a less obnoxious card than Blood Moon. That is a low bar that Back to Basics clears. Wait, they don't have a second land? Sure, friend. I mean, it's not even, like, the thing is, it's not even mana-based greed a lot of the time, right? Like, when I played a lot of Modern, the number of games where I was playing, like, a 2-color deck that was part red, but I lost a game to Blood Moon, it was just like, my blue-red deck got Blood Mooned off of blue mana, and it had, like, 5 or 6 basic islands and 8 to 10 fetches in it. It's like, my deck wasn't greedy. I just was unlucky, so we died. And honestly, for all the gameplay like that is a big part of what pushed me into arena formats too. Like, it's not even just the client. Like, if there was a non-arena format I was going to poke into, it would definitely be Pioneer. Excuse me? What? Alright, you can keep your Damping Sphere. Do they think, they must think we're a Lotus Field deck, huh? That's the only explanation, right? They must think we're a Lotus Field deck. Hey, thanks for 29 months, Wargy. I think I'd take a Feather deck. As a heads up, though, I'm going to be focusing on Alchemy from when the set releases till after the open, though. So we're going to take a little bit of a Historic hiatus when the set drops. That's why we've been playing Historic the last week or so. We're going to play Historic again tomorrow, and then Thursday, the Alchemy stuff releases, so we're going to focus on that. That could be it. Maybe they're under the impression that Creativity casts the cards. I can see that. Oh, please cast this other cat. They're gonna cast the Damping Sphere at Sedge. They just have a sideboard guide that says bring in damping spheres against Lotus deck. And we put in the Locust God, and they just misread it. Hey, look, they found a good use for their artifact chip. Cracked the case. So unfortunate. The old turn 5 tapped Sulfur Falls. Okay, I'm writing down fix mana base here in my notepad, so we can put a bunch of slow lands in this deck and cut these because they're trash. We're gonna cut all the buddies for slow lands after this.
Focused and disciplined.
This is what I get for copying a deck list off the internet, chat. You wouldn't download a card, don't download a deck. Net decking is stealing. And to the person asking why we didn't just play Locust God, they have a Vraska in their hand, face up looking at us. To be fair, I guess I can't fault people too much for not knowing what this card does. Chat, this card is the last time Standard was playable. This card, when this card was Standard legal, is the last time we had a playable Standard format. For those of you that are new to Magic, when you hear people talk about Standard being good, this card being legal, this was a playable card. It wasn't just playable; it was good. It was a bomb diggity. It was so good. This 6 mana Planeswalker was playable and good. The saddest part about this game is that if my opponent, if I hadn't drawn this Locust God, we'd kill them next turn, right? We need to go higher to stop drawing the Lotus God. Yeah. Mood. We need more. Oh, I should have kept the, I should have kept the treasure and gotten rid of the clue. So I can cast Locust God next turn, theoretically. That's fine. We get to rummage here a couple of times. Let's hit the lands. That's fine. I assume they're gonna Vraska and kill the Sage next turn anyways, so it doesn't matter. What's going on, Space Martian? Good morning. They've got some real spicy ones in their deck, Dean. They've got multiple Vraskas. They've got a Sawtooth. There's a lot going on. Yeah, it takes a while though, Ninity, and she +2s and -3s to kill things, so she kills through things rather quickly. Come on, opponent, play your Planeswalker, kill my Sage. They've made a lot of strange plays, so I'm just like making sure they do this before I concede. So we would have won that game if we hadn't unfortunately drawn one of our 2 combo pieces, but it's gonna happen sometimes with this archetype. You're just gonna draw that without any of your put-back cards, and you're gonna die because of it. Is what it is. See if we can get him game 3 on the play here. Yes. Yeah, the opponent is showing off that Luris deck building restriction. You know, you put Luris in your deck and suddenly you have to cut all your pet cards. You lose your Vraskas and your mutates and all that jazz. Yeah, we've basically drawn Locust God almost every single game. It's been a very, very variance-filled set for sure. We've won a lot despite that, but it's definitely made the games more challenging. No, this is the same Yawgmoth opponent still. We are a Yorion deck, Brute. I don't know if you're joking or if you just haven't been paying attention, but we are a Yorion deck with 80 cards. That's why the fact that we keep drawing one of our combo pieces is more offensive. Sky Noodle's right there. Looking for some lands here. Want to be able to play Narset, but also have triple red for creativity. Yeah, we're definitely cutting all the buddy lands out of the mana base after this set. The person that built this mana base did not do a good job. So many pathways and others. Natural Order was a Strixhaven Archive card. I have no idea if the rank icon bug is fixed because I didn't get to Mythic last season. We're a big casual stream. We ended in Diamond. I didn't play much Magic in January.
I train every day. No one is more prepared than hone your prowess.
January 2022 was the least amount of hours I've streamed on Twitch since I started doing content full-time 4 years ago. We took some time off. Imagine if this was just a red-black slow land here, chat. How much better would it be? Infinitely? I'm gonna go with infinitely. Thanks for the 2.5 years, Ashworld. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning.
Open mind.
Let's do sacrifice X squirrel, target creatures plus X minus X. This is make a treasure, shatter an artifact angle. Going on, Stellar Joe? 6 months of searching for a good Grixis deck. The world may never know. The world may never know. Chat. Oh, I should have blocked the 1/1. Would you believe me if I told you part of the reason I stopped doing Brawl as much as we were doing was because too many Brawl decks were getting submitted to me with bad mana bases or missing cards because of wildcard issues. I just didn't have time to keep all of them updated. Like, there were a lot of neat ideas, but like almost every one of them was submitted with, I just didn't have the resources to actually build this optimally like I wanted to, and it just takes so long. Like, it's so much more work to like update and fix the details on 100 card decks. I could have a fatal push here. I have 2 creativities though, so I'm just gonna go for it. Oh, they can just sacrifice 3 squirrels to kill this, right? That's awkward. So we start here then. Because I'm not, like, in danger of dying, right? Grixis tends to not be very competitive because it is an archetype that lacks efficient answers to a lot of different card types. This is the TLDR. I'm gonna do this assuming we hit a land drop. which might be a big assumption. I'm gonna take this in case we draw a combo piece. You just like struggle with answering various permanent types, and in general, being more proactive in Magic tends to be good, and Grixis tends to usually lock good proactive tools. They have priority here, but these both let them hold priorities, so good chance this just works. It's a Doomblade. They have a lot of weird cards. They could have something that kills these. Guess not. Alright, let's fix our mana base, huh? Any shinies in the store? We played one match with Treasure Flare. My opponent turned 4 Ulamogged us. I conceded and I loaded up a deck that was competitive. Felt very similar to playing into the turn 3 Elish Norn with our Shamans deck the other day. Just like, nope. There's a reason why people don't do these things. We should go do anything else with our time. Second mono red deck today. Oh, this is the Madness deck. Got it. That's a little bit less surprising than the other regular mono red we ran into. Is this a Shatter Beaumont loot angle here, I think? Okay. Now, it is worth noting that Unholy Heat does disrupt our combo. So that's something we'll need to consider as we play. Going up to 7 cards in their bin. Pyromance is a pretty good last card to have. This is why we kept the Valakut Awakening in our hand for what it's worth. Now, I think you always want at least one basic in this format, and I think the fact that pathways are always untapped makes them better than Forsaken Crossroads. All right, if we don't draw our second combo creature in our next 3 cards, we win the game. All right, we did it. Does Cat Oven count as a mid-range deck? Cat Oven is an engine deck. Our opponent's deck is a mid-range deck, which is why it's currently dying to my combo deck. For those of you keeping notes and taking notes at home. Narset's actually kind of reasonable here, right? Gonna bring in the Fatal Pushes and the extra sweepers. Yeah, I thought about learning Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I looked at some of the cards and I watched some people get combo killed, and I was just like, nah, I'm gonna wait for Pokemon. Dear Pokemon TCG, please release your new digital client soon. Thanks. What are other examples of engine decks? Life from the Loam decks are an engine deck. An engine deck refers to a deck that really gets going when it has like a core interaction working. If you haven't watched any Yu-Gi-Oh content and you've thought about looking into it, I would highly recommend watching Day 9's This Is My First Time Playing Yu-Gi-Oh video. It was the final push I needed. It was the final push. Experiencing it through him was good enough, and I'm never gonna touch it. Ever. Also, having watched him play a bit of the Yu-Gi-Oh client, I was shocked at how many people kept calling the Yu-Gi-Oh client good looking. Because I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of taken aback when I watched his video for the first time looking at the client. It's really fucking ugly. Like, looking at the digital Yu-Gi-Oh client really made me appreciate the fact that, like, these cards in play for Magic Arena aren't just paper Magic cards sitting in the battlefield, that they, like, resized them and stuff. Like, it looks so much better. And don't get me wrong, there's people that love Magic Online, so I'm sure there's a ton of people that like the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh just has, like, their paper cards in the client. Their client is just the paper cards, but I really wasn't into it. Okay, this is actually great here. Hand, Library, Exile. And then we'll shock this in Anger, and then when they go to fire up Dead in the Bugbear, we'll Fatal Push it off the Treasure. The WWE Supercard animations are legitimately good and hilarious, okay? Hashtag sponsored or whatever, but I was pleasantly surprised when I loaded that game up for the first time and the cards like were body slamming each other and stuff. If you haven't hung out for the Supercard segments at the end, you should watch at least a little bit of it today. It's very amusing. Nice. Nice. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We've all been there, friend. We've all been there. There's no shame in it. Prison cards suck, chat. It's not my fault, chat. I'm just a byproduct of the environment in which I've been raised. I wouldn't be doing things like this in Historic, but you have to. God bless Fire Design. I have no idea, Sporadic. I'm lucky if I remembered what I played against in the match before the current one, much less multiple sessions ago. Gotta mulligan this with no blue mana, alright? We get to keep this and we get to bottom the Sage of the Falls. That's just good mulliganing right there, Chip. Good luck in the rest of your laddering, Flaming Gnome. Appreciate the resub. This is a kill Robber of the Rich angle, I think. Maybe. I mean, I'm supposed to take these because they leave behind 1/1s when they die. Before the Robber of the Rich takes my Locust God, I'm gonna get rid of it here. Man, what is with all the mono red today? Can't remember the last time I played against this archetype in this format. There's been so many of them today. I'm just gonna do this. Keep my life total high. If it was anger, I'd save it to clear this out, but sweeping the board while Annex is in play isn't super appealing. Hopefully they just, like, fire up Den of the Bugbear here and we get to kill it with Prismari Command. Draw a couple cards, discard a couple cards. Oh, I think we're dead, fam. In Anger of the Gods. Again, Inquisition them for a touch more information on the way out the door. Ember Cleave confirmed. Mono red matchup seems hard with this deck, but I also don't know that having a bad mono red matchup is necessarily disqualifying in this format. It's not a deck that's put up any results in Historic in ever. I just like the colors in Saheeli's artwork. The swirls of rainbow, I think, are very pretty. We have a Thopter that makes pie to go along with it. I agree, Sojourner. In my opinion, having small creature decks be competitive tends to be a sign of a good format. And lack thereof tends to be an indictment of a format. Well, that's super unfortunate. I think I have 2 sweepers, so I'm not going to take a third. Definitely got to put the combo piece back into our deck. How does Perpetual work in a paper game? It doesn't. Perpetual is a digital-only mechanic. Magic has stepped out of the boomer card game era and has embraced digital designs. That's wonderful. Cat Oven is a small creature deck, right? I mean, it does have small creatures in it. Yeah, Fancy, if you've been away for a while, Historic is fully embraced digital only. We get rebalanced cards now. They've been doing a lot of good. It's actually pretty exciting. They have 2 cards perpetually with haste in their hand, which is kind of scary into my handful of sweepers.
Thoughtfulness before action.
Yeah, me either, honestly. Something I'd been asking for years. The other part that was not so surprising, but still frustrating all the same, Pansy, is that Alchemy has had an incredible amount of blowback from the Magic community, and content for it has not been particularly successful because of it. Pablo, thanks for the follow. That's fine. Those are Diamond 4 rank floor matchup. Alchemy is a digital-only rotating format. So think standard, but with rebalanced cards and digital-only designs. So we're playing Historic right now, which also has rebalanced cards and digital-only designs because the new set drops Thursday. CGB's been posting daily standard and alchemy videos. The standard videos have been doing better every day, which is a bit sad, but also not surprising, given the environment of of the Magic community, I don't think. Curious to see how our Alchemy Open does. If our Alchemy Open on the 19th bombs again in terms of metrics, it'll probably be our last Alchemy event, and we'll probably keep those focused on historic moving forward. The first one could definitely have been a fluke just by the virtue of it being like the very first Alchemy event and such. Yes, the boomer era pros, a lot of the people who were part of pro Magic of yesteryear all tend to be very anti-alchemy. Change is scary. Pablo, thanks for the follow. We're still gonna play plenty of alchemy on this channel because I enjoy it. I'm not here just to chase metrics. It's fine. I don't, chat's heading in a direction I'd like to avoid. I don't want to bag on other creators. People like what they like and dislike what they dislike. Just from my position here, I'm going to say I like alchemy. So, I actually don't understand it's a bigger wildcard investment to get into alchemy than standard. That's not really true, right? Like, if you want to own 100% of everything, it's more cards, but free-to-play players in this game generally aren't owning 100% of everything anyways, right? And if you're a free-to-play player, I would think you'd much rather be invested in the format where your deck's going to remain legal if they ban something, as opposed to the standard format where if they ban something, your deck could be rendered unplayable. Because it doesn't really matter if they give you 4 wild cards for the things that they ban, because your deck's still unplayable. Like, 4 wild cards doesn't help you build a whole new deck. Yeah, I would believe people that already had standard decks were less inclined to come into alchemy to start, but as an onboarding point moving forward, alchemy is a much better onboarding point than standard for new free-to-play players. I agree that humans are largely illogical and bad at mathematics, and I agree with the concept that wild cards feel better even if functionally they end up worse for you. You kind of have to collect everything. That's not true. You can definitely focus into getting just a couple of different decks. You're right, you're going to have cards you don't need for those decks along with it, but you can definitely focus on getting just a couple of specific things. What's our control plan? I'd encourage you to look at our sideboard. Actually have pretty cohesive control plan. I agree that Wizards' timing on most things has been bad.
prowess is unmatched by my peers.
I'm not arguing with people about the mathematics of it. You're wrong. Just get out of my chat. Just have no desire to argue, to explain why you're wrong. Go do the math. Sorry, my fuse is short today. I'm just gonna time people out rather than being sarcastic. Just come on, there's a deck list on your screen. You're not new here. Like, what does the deck list do? Can you read it? Look at the deck list, please. Just take a second. I think we're probably dead here at this point. We've drawn a lot of cards that just don't have a text box in the control matchup. Cut these pieces of spot removal and sweepers. Yeah, we actually just drew almost all the cards we were sideboarding out there. You get to bring in Thought Distortion. Do I leave in the Sage Locust God even though I'm bringing in A-Hullbreaker Horror? I think so. I think so is the answer. I think I'm just going to leave all the threats in. All right, we're on the Diamond 4-wing floor anyways, right? So we'll just go ahead and concede here rather than mulliganing to 5. Oh, easy game. Easy game. Since I can now illustrate my point, by the way, to the person I banned who said it's harder to get into Alchemy because you can't buy packs. Like, come on. Come on. This is, all of the anti-Alchemy arguments are so fucking lazy and stupid. Just like, and if anything, the cards that you get out of these Alchemy packs are more likely to be relevant constructed playable cards than out of these packs, because the ratio of constructed playable cards in here is so much higher than the ratio of constructed playable cards in the average Magic set. It's so much higher. I want to talk about opening cards that are going to be relevant to your decks. A lot of feelings, chat. I'm gonna keep this on the drive. Valakut Awakening to put this Locust God back. You get double Inquisition here. Let's do it. Is Devil that scary? I'm gonna take away the card they can cast here, right? My body is ready to never draw a third land and die. Ooh, I wonder if they fixed that. Hex. Any rate, thanks for 23 months. Welcome back. Nice. Nailed it. Never didn't have it. Welcome back, Billy. Thanks for the 2.5 years. Oh no! Oh no! Can they kill a Sage? It's a good question. There's probably bindings in their deck. They're not a Luris build.
Go ahead. A life for a life.
Okay, so so this is 8 mana, 9, 10, and then next turn I can do this and this. So we just double strike it rich here, and then next turn we do this for 4 and cast this for mana. Okay.
Sacrifices.
Don't draw Thoughtseize. Okay. What's going on, Dig? Thanks for the 47 months. Welcome back. Please concede. So again, we can now make up to 62 1/1s with flying and haste. They might not be familiar with this combo as well. If they don't concede after like 3 loops, we can assume they're salty, but I usually don't fault people for needing to see the loop demonstrated because this deck's not super popular. But at this point, they're just full of sodium. They're just like hoping I don't make enough tokens to beat them, gaining some life by sacrificing the Ravenous Squirrel here, but we'll play around them having a removal spell and gaining some life because we have these things face up on the table. Oh, rainbows. That's true. They could also be like our other opponent that didn't realize these tokens have haste. We definitely had one of those earlier. They just didn't realize their tokens had haste. We have to make, what, 25 of these? We assume they can kill 2 and gain 3 life. Just make like 30 for good measure. Yeah, Kinix is on my wavelength. My body is ready for the pause, read Locust God, concede after attackers are declared moment. Or right before attackers are declared, like we had in that other game. The flavor judge ruling on the Locust beating the food deck feels like it's on point, though. From a savor the flavor perspective, the flavor judges should be happy here. Figured it out. With them having Mayhem Devil, I want the extra angers here. Give him a couple of Narsets. Maelstrom Pulse is a sorcery, D-Canadian. Your hypothetical doesn't exist. And start here is very good. Oh, shoot. They get us for Xaxes, chat. It's been so long since I played against this card. I realized as soon as I clicked the button, I was just like, and we messed it up. And Library Exile. Let's go play this, strike it rich, treasure token, kill Mayhem Devil. Okay, this is fine. They missed a damage. The fact that I gave them a free damage is washed out by the fact that they missed a damage, so perfect. Perfect gameplay on both sides. We're at the same life total. It's a squirrel. Ship the crab. I don't want them to randomly have something like a Dreadhorde Butcher. So casting this Inquisition's actually a little bit of a Hoagland here, right? Because it could end up just putting a cat into their graveyard they get to bring back with the food. I think this is just like tapped land go. I guess we could just Unexpected Windfall here. Yeah, if we Windfall into... I guess we need to get this out of our hand. Maybe we are just supposed to do this. I was saying we could combo, but we actually can't because Sage is in our hand. Peace, Goody. I feel like if this is their line, this is really good for us. This takes like infinite mana and time for them. I mean, you're gonna twist my arm. Sure. Sack the cat and draw.
As long as we win, nothing else matters.
A little low on life, but it's not quite the end of the world here. I think we just pass. They're about to generate a lot of cards here. They sack the food, they draw a card. They really need to find our combos sooner rather than later here. Meat Hook really showing its power here. Just an otherwise dead card in this matchup is being an uncounterable Blood Artist here. We have, what, 4 shots at our combo piece next turn? We have a Draw Step plus an Expressive Iteration. Obviously, we need to hit an untapped land in some of those cards as well in order to have enough mana to do that, but... We haven't seen one yet, and we put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards we don't know on the bottom of our deck, so we have 4 in 54. I wonder if they're thinking about... I wonder if that pause there was them thinking about Vraskaing one of our artifacts. Should have done it, opponent. Should have done it. Had 4 shots, only needed 1. And here we go! So, I think this deck that we're playing's actually a good example of kind of the toxic warp Cat Oven has on this format, because the this type of deck is very good into the Cat Oven decks. And the best ways to attack the Cat Oven decks are things that are kind of toxic. Like our combo, I think you could only describe as toxic, right? Like this, we do this thing, it's basically one card and they lose the game on the spot. But the Cat Oven deck just has such mediocre interaction because so much of what it's doing is based on grinding people out that we just sidestep that grind to get to not care about it by comboing them. Nice, Robin. Closing in. Okay. Iteration's one of the best cards we can have in our hand when we mulligan low. For the love of God, chat. It's actually just every single game. It was all three hands this game. Our 6 and 7 both had a combo piece in it. And then it's like our first draw step on 5. It's actually unreal. We are confirmed verifiably the unluckiest. Actual, factual unluckiest. What happens if you get double Shillionaire? You'll just be making it easier for all the other people at home to achieve Shillionaire. I'm gonna do this now while they're tapped out. I didn't have any blue lands, Tang. Maybe you just glanced at the hand, but there were 3 red-black duels in it. It's so frustrating because of how incredibly dead they are. Wait, the Locust God puts itself back into my deck, right? No, it goes back to my hand. Damn it. Yeah, That's sad. If it tucked itself like the other ones, it'd be so much better. If we actually, like, they're actually just dead with no counterplay if we just hadn't drawn every single one of our things. Actually just drew one of our 2 things every game 3 games in a row. And Nomad, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. Well, with the untapped overlay, you can mouse over cards on the opponent's side. Doomscar largely doesn't matter. Hermit is annoying. Let's go ahead. Cool. See, thanks for the 17 months. Welcome back. We just draw the Yorion here, just go kind of slow. Remember, I do have A-Hullbreaker Horror in addition to the 2 combo pieces in my deck right now. That's something to consider when we take our lines. I'm not counterspelling any of their stuff, so I think we just leave the guys. I think I'm gonna kill the Charming Prince and make a treasure. Yes, they removed Can't Be Countered from this card. Just good. Can't Be Countered shouldn't really be on blue cards, in my opinion. This is a punish for not killing Charming Prince. Ah, we tapped wrong. Sag. Please stop. Please, Deck, come on, you're killing me, Smalls. Okay, if we draw an untapped land, oh my god, they get to flip this back to the front side. I didn't even think about that. Fuck, we didn't draw the land anyway, so it doesn't matter, but yeah, I definitely messed this up by not getting rid of that. All right, let's try and get some one more time. Some rough beats there. Is chat gonna think less of me if I click keep here? Because I've just been so hurt today, chat. I need to keep a 7 one time. I need to. I need it. Okay? There's no combo pieces here. Like, I'm just gonna click keep. I would like to apologize to the people that think less of me for keeping. And library exile. All right, we're good to go on turn 5, huh? Just keep tapping out for bangers like Scrap Heap Scrounger, opponent. I have no thoughts to seize here. Don't let it cross your mind. Iteration is basically Brainstorm, it's fine. Lol. I was holding my breath there, chat. Because based on how this set has gone, we were about to draw a Locust God, and I couldn't. I needed. Okay. We have successfully outplayed our opponent in the big-brained battle of wits that is Magic the Gathering. We have gathered here today to do battle and make Locust. Fatal Push and Angers in, a couple of Narsets and some Thoughtseizes out. Click submit. Combo. all the cards jumping out of your screen in solitaire victory fashion does seem like an accurate depiction of what should happen when you win with this deck. Sorry for staring off into the void for a minute there. I just got a message back from someone at Twitch who's trying to help me sort out my tax issues with them. I've talked about this a little bit on stream, but Chrissy and I incorporated a Hoaglandia LLC at the end of last year, and it's just been an actual fucking nightmare getting everything pivoted over to it. I think I leave them the Thoughtseize here. They'll get to take my Fatal Push, but it is what it is. What liabilities are you hoping to limit? The way taxes end up playing out is more beneficial as an LLC versus as an individual getting a 1099 at the end of the year. An LLC is a limited liability corporation. It allows you to do stupid shit that shouldn't happen under the US tax system. But here we are, so. For the people in chat that are telling me I should pay someone else to do the things that are causing me issues, I can't. You don't understand what my problems are, but I appreciate all of you at home trying to tell me that I'm wrong without understanding my situation. Because I did in fact quite literally pay a professional to incorporate everything. The issue is getting YouTube and Amazon and others that use automated validation systems to accept the information for the new one. And none of them give you actual humans to talk to, so when there's problems, you just like have to sit there and twiddle your thumbs and guess. The good news is that Go Blank didn't really matter. A second Go Blank here could hurt, but the first one didn't do anything. Wonder if they just like take my Sky Noodle and hope I don't draw a combo piece for the creativity. It's probably the line, unless they have a removal spell. Yeah, I think that line's correct. Hopefully we just draw a card that punishes them making the correct play, but... Anger is really good for us here, obviously, but I think my opponent made the correct line. And they can still draw out of it before we do. Another Bone Crusher in hand. Opponent is solidly ahead at the moment. Anything that makes 2 tokens for us puts us ahead in a pretty big way. I'm going to hold on to the land for now because we could draw an Unexpected Windfall. Anger of the Gods. Ooh, that could be anything, chat. Even an Anger of the Gods. I think I'm happy that we boarded. Let's just run it back. There was not a boat. Turns out. At least YouTube does the decency of paying me minus like 30% while I fight to get my LLC information updated with them. Twitch quite literally just is holding all of my payouts in perpetuity until they decide to validate my information. So we'll see. We'll see how long that takes. I think we're supposed to keep this. I think we play this tapped on 1, so this can be red to go with this. I feel like I need to go back and re-click through the last 2 hours of this and see how many times we actually mulliganed. Christy and I looked at our budget, and I think we're gonna be good so long as we get this sorted by the spring. But if they haven't paid me out by like April or May, things might get a little dicey. We'll be okay for now. We're pretty fiscally responsible. Definitely the go blank here, right? And then we just like fatal push this, which puts them behind on this one. I think we're actually supposed to Sweltering Suns this. So that way if we draw untapped land for this, we can Windfall, use the treasure to fatal push revolt this. No, I want to use the fatal push to kill this down the line. So there's a land. I think we're just passing. I think it's like Bin, Omen, Windfall. Well over 2 mo's. Honestly, this set that we've had today is probably an incredible testament to how good this deck is that we're playing, because we've run fucking awful for the last 2 hours, and we've still won more than half of our matches. Like, our variance has just been atrocious, and we're still winning plenty of games. Bam. Bam. They're making us sack a creature? Wow, this is really aggro. They are gonna get this. I don't know. God bless America, my country, 'tis of thee. That's fine. It's fine. We could just cast both our combo pieces. This is actually fine. It's actually perfectly fine. It's not a big deal at all. We're actually just gonna go 6-drop, 5-drop combo them. I waited to fire Prophecy in case they drew another wrinkle. Go. Hey, do you have a removal spell? Cast Splinter Twin. Okay. All right, I'm gonna end on that one. Like that's the last match of Magic I got in me. No, it creates things with haste. All right, now I have to look. What was our actual record? Because we ran so bad there. I know we ended up MMR. We ended up higher than we started in terms of ladder points. We went 4-4. 4-4. I think one of those was a concession at the rank floor too, right? So probably 4-3, maybe 4-4. I'll take it. You know what? With how awful that set was in terms of drawing our things, I will take a 500. Maybe there's supposed to be more Valakut Awakenings in this deck. Maybe that's my one change at the end of it. If you're someone that's gonna play this deck who's incredibly unlucky, like I'm incredibly unlucky, you should consider playing more copies of Valakut's Awakening. I think the Omen of the Seas might be bad. Like, it's kind of cute that, like, you can blink them with Yorion, but, like, we actually never did that, and playing other things would probably be better. I think I'd cut these. I think at a minimum I'd do this just because I'm salty from being unlucky. I think that's a good swap. All right. Speaking of sponsored things.